Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Choujin X, Chapter 31, Part 1. When we last left our heroes, we focused on the stuff with Chandra and Tokio. As Chandra Tokio was able to get away a little bit with his sort of plan to stop beastifying or constantly turning on and off his powers. But it didn't really work for long, is my point. As Chandra eventually caught up to him anyway, and nearly killed Tokio until Tokio reminded him that he was clearly after him for something. And we got our first bit that, Chandra maybe sees himself as the good guy. There's the mother we've heard about has apparently warned Chandra that there is a great catastrophe coming, and, that's why he's doing this. That getting Tokio will prevent this catastrophe. But we don't really have to explore that anymore, as Ellie shows up to the battle, desperate she wants to fight her old rival. And so Ellie and Tokio collect themselves and ready the next phase of their fight, as Chandra, approaches them. And that's where we leave off, so let's dive right on in to Chapter 31. I don't see a title on this cover page, though I do see Chandra, rising in the air, surrounded in, a spiral of his smoke. And we're already into the story. It's not really a cover page, it's just straight up content. As he throws the smoke at the duo, heat screwdriver. And Ellie, in reference to Chandra's last line in the previous chapter, you call that a beautiful power? Seems more like a spit an image in my poop-de-loop special. And Tokio cracks up at that. The poo almost has us surrounded. And Ellie grabs onto Tokio's shoulders and uses her smoke to, fly away. And Ellie then calls out, "Whoa! What's wrong? You're heavy!" Which is just mean, Ellie. Hey! And then Chandra sees them and throws some more smoke their way. Incoming! And they're just barely dodging all of these sort of, these almost fists of smoke. That was close! Gonna take you down, okay? Got it! And Ellie just drops Tokio. Tokio does not fly at that point, even though he's been working on that ability. And so we're now in a sort of one-on-one fight with Chandra and Ellie. Ha! Think you can take me in a mid-air fight? And Ellie just bows right back. Wanna see? And she throws some smoke Chandra's way, and Chandra pushes right back. Try again! But Tokio, it seems more of a jump than flight, but he appears behind Chandra. Forgot about me, and gets a kick in on Chandra, slamming him into the ground. Gah! That's payback for earlier, mister. And Chandra, I'm starting to see Chandra's problem here. He's really only focused on one person at a time, which was fine during the Ellie chase when, really only Ellie posed a threat. Not even a threat, but, had powers. But now that Tokio and Ellie are here, and they've both had a bit of training, that might end up being Chandra's undoing. Because, anyway, my point, because I look at the next panel, because Chandra says, "Don't push your luck, just because I'm a cultured man." And, to his surprise, Ellie comes flying in with her smoke. "You forgot me, too! This is payback for whatever." She just wants to deck him. She just wants to cause some pain to Chandra. And she does. The smoke goes, slamming into him as Chandra screams, "Gah!" And Ellie just floats there, exhausted, but somewhat confident in her victory. "How you getting a taste of your own smoke?" And she flies back down to Tokio and asks, "Think we did it?" And no. They did get a raise out of him, as we hear raise booming from this puff of this tower of smoke. It's a cool look. All of Chandra's smoke looks really cool. And Tokio just notes, "Figures. We're up against a Choujin, so we got no clue how much to hurt him. Guess we gotta keep going till he goes quiet." And Chandra is, and also, don't they get stronger with each raise? And Tokio and Ellie, as you sort of saw with Simon, are still recovering from the fight with Ozma a while back. So they might not be able to get a good raise in. Whereas Chandra definitely can. Um, but then the smoke clears away. There's this interesting, like, this chapter has been full of dark backgrounds for the most part, especially in any, like, larger panel due to the fact that it's night and they're in, like, a forest. But this is a very large panel and with, like, a stark white background. And even Chandra's suit looks white. Like, normally his suit is black, but that looks at least light colored. And Tokio and Ellie just stare. As I think this is probably Tokio's line. Does he kinda... No, this is Ellie's. Does he kinda look sulky to ya? And Tokio knows he really does. And we have like a sulking effect there. He does look sort of like hollowed out. And Tokio thinks, did we beat him? And Ellie just thinks he ain't dead, is he? I didn't want to kill him. And then Chandra just starts to laugh. Oh, he's alive. Phew, what a relief. And then Ellie thinks, wait, is it a relief? Because, Chandra is at the very least we know he's not trying to kill Tokio, as he realized himself during the fight earlier. But he might still be trying to kill Ellie. As Chandra lets out, this is tiring. I'm tired. I always overdo it. Everybody tells me I work too hard. Okay, so when he gets tired, when he like raises too much, does he just become like super tired? Ellie notes, fella's acting kooky. He really is. Wonder if he might just fall over. But Chandra looks at them. So, the venison, the patties, him and everybody. I burned all of it. Everything and everyone. Oh, he's about to have a breakdown. Even knowing Mother's plan for Tokio, he's just so tired he no longer cares. But I was putting in the effort, see? Even then, what else could I do? All on my own. And Ellie just questions, what's he saying? Did we break him? So please, don't. And he just starts to rage. Even more than the sort of flip his lid state that Simon talked about. Make me get too upset. And Ellie calls out Tokio. Right. Okay, so I initially read the too upset line first, despite the fact that it doesn't really work left to right. As the calm down, we won't, in this bottom right panel on page 10, feels like a response to the too upset line, but that bubble looks like it's pointing to Chandra? Could that be another part of Chandra? Like some sort of split personality thing? I don't know. Feels like a stretch, but I guess it's possible? But anyway, as he's gotten upset, he just zooms past Tokio. This might be a chaos state. It doesn't quite look like a chaos state, but there's been some kind of power increase, obviously. The smoke knocks Tokio off his feet, and he calls Ellie. It wasn't about knocking Tokio off his feet, it was Chandra grabbing Ellie. As the narrator tells us, during their highest output, Chandra's fumes reach temperatures of over 3,000 degrees Celsius. In order to keep from burning himself, he usually keeps his smoke at a much lower temperature, of just 200 to 250 degrees. But as Chandra verges on a chaos state, he regresses to a juvenile mindset and is unable to bridle his abilities. And Ellie is straight up burning with this, this next panel tells us, as the smoke flies through the air, it's a blazing 1,300 degrees. This 1,300 degrees Celsius, smoke, which for us Americans is 2,372 degrees Fahrenheit. So fucking hot, and not even half of like Chandra's full power. A cremator burns at 800 to 1,000 degrees. So that vortex of glowing, toxic-looking orange fumes currently snuffing for Ellie could be called a flying casket. Yeah! And as for Tokio, Because Ellie might be able to survive better because she's also a smoke Choujin. But Tokio is not. Tokio has no real shot here. And he's trying to run. I'm nowhere close to catching up. He more or less reached the exact opposite state. Come on, go faster, me! And his beastification mask starts to crack. Almost like all of those, like, partial beastifications are starting all of a sudden to take their toll on him. Probably because that's exactly what's happening. Shoot! My beastification! And he comes back to his like, normal state. This can't be happening! Why now? Why? Chandra Hume! No recourse but to just scream into the void. You're supposed to be after me! Stop that! Oh, it's the same sort of instinct of, like, kill me and spare the others from the previous chapter. Because I'm a beast or something. Didn't you say all that stuff? Don't you dare run off! Hey, you ear-haired goon! Get down here, you dunce! Not really doing anything, Chandra's not really paying him any attention. Darn it! Why is it that I can't do anything when it counts? And he, like, trips and hits the ground. Anything! I mean, he can't, Tokio has done a lot of things when it counts. Like, the entire fight with Ozma was him doing things when it counts. But also, Tokio is defined by, like, not seeing himself as useful. Going back to the vulture imagery of the beginning of the series. I can't do anything at all. Is it because I never bothered applying myself? If I just had more talent, if I just turned into a Choujin sooner and started training earlier, if only I were smarter, if only I hadn't wasted all that time worrying about dreams and what I intended and what I wanted to do, and had just gone ahead and taken more action. Things like that don't matter right now. He puts all that aside. Just run. In his human state, just booking it for all he's worth. Putting all that aside. I've gotta run! And he, like, leaps off a cliff and breaks every bone in his left foot on the landing. Very, very like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible there. Gah! But I'm a Choujin, so I'm A-okay. He'll heal right up. Come on. Don't go right in my path, Strawberry. You hit me, you're just gonna get hurt, baby. He's just, he's running to the point where, like, the skin near his eyes is starting to pull back. This sense of he can't really sustain this. But he is almost catching up, as he calls out, Ellie! And he jumps again. This is it. Like, jumping up towards Chandra. This moment. This one chance. And he hits the ground and he's gonna go for, like, one extra jump. I've gotta think of it. It's my once-in-a-lifetime shot. I've gotta go. All out! And he partial beastifies the legs, the result of his training. Beastify! Giant vulture legs there. And he jumps. He doesn't make it. He's too low. Oh, he's about to fly, isn't he? The way he's flapping his hands, his arms, like they look like wings. But he falls. Tokio, he fails to make it and he starts to fall. And he's going into like what looks like a skydive, that sort of body posture. And he puts his hands together, I think, to like spread them out to become wings, to finish that training with Simon earlier. Here I go. Beastification! And the wings form behind him, fully, hopefully letting him fly now. Chapter 31, Spiral / Rasen, Part 1. And Rasen, I believe, is just spirals, like where Rasengan comes from in Naruto. But yeah, that's the title. As Tokio finally gets his wings. And it's, it lacks the kind of sudden examination of Chandra's character from the last chapter, but you know what? I can live with that for now. I don't think Chandra's going anywhere anytime soon. And so the bulk of the chapter, after, a quick initial fight with Chandra, where Chandra starts to approach his chaos state and kidnaps Ellie, is just Tokio's big run. Tokio finally learning to fly, And it's just a great sequence. The bit of him, like, him falling, and it feels like he's getting into this sort of deeply negative headspace. You know, if I was just any good, but then you find out that, like, he is fully ignoring that for now. He still has all those issues to deal with, but right now, the important thing is his friend having been taken by who he believes to be a monster. Again, I think there's a bit more nuance to Chandra than we have yet to believe, and we have yet been shown, I should say. And then he has that great first jump with the feet, and he almost gets it, but not enough. And he finally, after all this time, perfects those wings. It is a great moment. Leaves me so excited to see what happens next. I hope that this is a sign, at least for a little bit, at least for the rest of this arc, Ishida might be sticking to something close to a weekly schedule, because the last 3 or 4 chapters have been like every Thursday night, and so hopefully we keep that streak going, and we get the next chapter sooner rather than later, because I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens next. Even if a part of me thinks that like the next chapter is gonna hard cut to like Azuma's fight with Yubiko or the whole thing with Hiroto. But you know, we might stick with this fight for a little while longer. But like this, it's the sort of thing, you know, it's a question I've had for a while. Given Choujin's very specific like release schedule that is just sort of whenever Ishida's done, like what is the point of part releases? Like Blue Exorcist does it sometimes, and that feels like it's, you know, Kato runs out of time for the chapter, and so she just sends what she has, and then we get the back half of the chapter later. But like that's not the thing with Choujin. But then you get a scene like this, with that beastification. I cannot imagine another, like, I cannot imagine just turning the page without even a single chapter break and then just being another scene after that beastification. Which is a good thing. It works really well. It's one of those moments of, like, Ishida's very, you know, personal release schedule really working for the series. But yeah, this is, like, I didn't quite realize it at the time, because I think I sort of blazed through the whole run bit. But, like, that really is half the chapter, and it works. That, like, that build up to, you know, he's going as fast as his human form can take him, and so he goes for what he knows. He has the partial beastification down pat, and it doesn't quite work. And so he has that final desperate moment of the more powerful wing beastification, and that works. And that might be what it takes to rescue Ellie. The question about rescuing Ellie, though, is that, like, I don't know if Tokio can still withstand those 1300-degree flames as a beast Choujin, but we'll see. We'll see what he can do when the series comes back. So with that said, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you'll enjoy the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, you know, do whatever makes it happy, you know? And as always, your life is your own, okay? Bye! Nope, that's not the button. There we go. Bye.